Hello, everybody. This is Josiah Cannon. I am back with another episode of Power to the People, aka P2P. And this is just a podcast where we highlight Black youth or just Black leaders in general who are trying to create change and work towards creating a better community for all of us, especially African Americans. So, yeah, that's what it's all about. And today we have special guest Nyla Choates. From what I know about Nyla, you're a freshman at Spelman right now, and yeah, you also what we were in GSP, right?
Yes, we're both in GSP together.
Okay,
And hello, everyone listening in right now. It's great to be here.
thank you. Yeah, so you have something like a project you've been working on for actually quite some time now. It's called what's it called? It's called My Roots Are Rich, right? Can you tell
Yeah,
us a little bit about that?
of course. So I started a project at 16 years old, so it's been about 2 years now, called My Roots Are Rich. And this is a nonprofit organization where our mission is to empower, inspire, and educate people about the rich history of African Americans and all of our contributions to America. Really, this project of mine really blossomed from when I was a young girl, and in my school setting, I wasn't being taught about the greatness that my people have done, and it really influenced the way that I saw myself. So, when I'm being taught constantly, like we only come from slavery, we only come from when we're taught about Africa that we only come from Ebola and poverty. So it made me had a reflection that my roots weren't rich, but thankfully, I had some amazing parents that put me into amazing programs that taught me my real history. And it made me think, like, oh my goodness, I want to rewrite these textbooks overnight because they're not telling us the truth. And since I couldn't, physically do that right away, I decided to make the nonprofit organization, My Roots Are Rich, where I do different projects, such as reading books to kids or, you know, going on podcasts like such, where I just try to spread as much knowledge as I can. And it's been a great experience.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And so that's also fantastic about how you came up with that. That's something that like I aim to achieve with basically this podcast, honestly, because like my thought process with this was that like there's not a lot of like positive representation out there of us. So I think like and especially in this age of technology, we got to use that to our advantage to try and like spread awareness and spread knowledge and spread love. So that's great that you're doing that. Speaking of technology, you guys have an Instagram, correct?
Correct. And
Okay, yeah.
yes, well,
I'm like I'm sorry, say that again.
I was just saying that's just the name My Roots Are Rich on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You guys should definitely check that out. Right now, we're working on rebranding ourselves with some more content, but I would definitely say to go check that out because there's some really great information that we're able to spread some more about our mission.
Nice, nice. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm actually looking at this Instagram page right now. It's really nice. It seems like you guys have done a lot with reading and young children. Is that right?
Yes, very correct. So one of our first projects that we did was called Read for a Cause, and this was during really the peak of the pandemic, where a lot of children who had, some parents who were some of the frontline workers, nurses, working at grocery stores, and they couldn't really be taught they weren't really able to be taught by their parents because they were too busy working. So through the nonprofit, I decided to put on this project where myself and a couple of volunteers from really all over. I mean, there's people from New York, people from my hometown of Milpitas, California, people from Atlanta who recorded videos. And what we did was we read these books to these children virtually, and we posted them on YouTube, we posted them on Instagram. And it was really amazing because we were able to get some book donations and physically drop them off at children's houses. We were able to, and then also through YouTube, through technology, we were able to have children watch these videos of us reading to them. And for the most part, all these readers were also reflections of what they look like, of African descent, reading to them books about them. So that was really, really fun and a great project that I loved putting on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It looks awesome, honestly. I'm definitely gonna check a few of these out after this podcast is finished. Um, yeah, also some of the, can you like tell us about some of the other things that you guys have done already and possibly are doing in the future?
Yeah, most definitely. So, some other things that we've done was that we put on the march, Black Lives Matter times Milpitas. So, through the nonprofit, we were able to raise $5,000 to reach funds where we were able to disperse them in different ways, such as to the George Floyd Fund, to
Mhm.
bail funds for protesters who were wrongfully arrested, and through the march. Oh my goodness, this was one of the largest in the Bay Area last summer, and it was really, I mean, I had 3 days, I think, that I put it on, and it really was because I wasn't seeing a leader in my community. I was kind of waiting for someone to do it. I was waiting around like, all right, when's the March on Milpitas? But it wasn't happening. So I put on myself. I was like, you know what? You got to be the change that you want to see in your community. And it was, I mean, the 49ers ended up coming. Kendrick Bourne was there.
Wow.
Some Paralympic athletes came and showed out. And it was, I mean, I still can't believe it happened in 3 days. We had news reporters. It was really, really organized. And I'm really thankful to have been able to, spark a change in my community through the nonprofit.
That's awesome, honestly.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm checking that out on your page too, and it's receiving a lot of positive feedback. So yeah, I'm very happy you guys were able to put that together, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, like you were saying, what are some of our upcoming projects? So really, what's going to be coming in the beginning of January, 2022, we are currently in the works of creating my own children's book, inspired by the nonprofit My Roots Are Rich, which is truly just telling my story of, when I was a young girl, not knowing that my roots were rich, and kind of growth throughout the story of how I realized that my roots are rich. And it's going to be really amazing. It's really done. We're just waiting for illustrations at this point, and it's going to be really amazing and something that you guys should really stay tuned for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Imagine being able to like come up with an idea and go about it and publish like your own book and something like that's just remarkable. That's
Thank you.
honestly like the future looking at like Nyla and everyone else I've interviewed so far, the future's looking pretty bright to say the least. So
At yourself, Josiah, and what you're doing, and bringing light to some greatness of Black people. I think that it's amazing to see what you're doing yourself.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So leading into the week of action. So the week of action's goal is to help dismantle the school to prison pipeline through community action. And in your eyes, how do you think your project relates to this and the theme of community, not cops? Do you think there's something that you've already done that reflects that, or do you have something like possibly in the future you might plan to help uh like show that? What's
Yeah,
what's on your mind?
definitely must, for sure. What I've already done through the nonprofit is we've had meetings with the Milpitas Police Department where we really just had a sit down conversation, and me and a group of some others of my board inside my Roots to Rich, we sat down and we had a conversation with them to give our input of what we felt about, the prison pipeline, the school to prison pipeline, and how we felt that they can do better within our own community, because I truly feel like a lot of conversations aren't had, which is where, miscommunication happens. And so the meeting went, it went it was a step in the right direction. Let's just say that. And
Mhm.
I was able to hear what they had to say. They were able to hear what we had to say, and I feel like it brought about. I was able to see a different viewpoint. I'm not going to say that I agreed with everything that they did say, but I was able to see their viewpoint of certain things and see how they worked. And I just feel like education, which is really, like I said, I just want to educate people. I think that being able for them to listen to what we had to say and educate them on, why Black people have this feeling towards cops, and being able to hear their response to that and certain things that they want to improve on. I think that was a first step in the right direction. And also, what I intend to do in the future, as I said, now I can't rewrite the textbooks overnight, but I do plan on rewriting these textbooks so that our history is told through whatever I have to do in my near future.
Mhm. Wow, that was a fantastic response, Nyla. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what's to come with your project and just everything in general. So yeah, that's that's honestly all I really wanted to ask you about. Is there anything else you'd like to plug? Like you already mentioned your platform, your programs on pretty much every platform. You want
Mhm.
to shout yourself out again or something?
Yes, please. So my personal page is at Nyla Choates, Nyla Choates. There, kind of post more of my personal things, but you can see a lot of social activism as I am a youth activist. And you should definitely follow me there to see any more updates about what I do in my day-to-day life. You guys can also see what it is like to be a Spelman College student, because it's an experience at an HBCU. It's a great experience that you guys can follow along with me. And yeah, really my nonprofit page at My Roots Are Rich on basically everything. So yeah, I would love the support.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. That just about concludes our episode. So thank you everyone for tuning in once again, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thank you guys again.